Hi everyone, happy World Optometry Day from Visionstryt. I'm Obi Malu, an optometrist from South Africa, and today for World Optometry Day, I've got the privilege and the opportunity of having asked various global icons and trailblazers in our industry what their optometry message is. And my oh my, I'm blown away beyond words can ever express the level of insight these leaders have in how they have contributed to eye care, how passionate they are about optometry, the stuff that they're still doing, even though they've already done so much, how enthusiastic and passionate they are about taking optometry to greater heights. You're going to be listening and watching to people that you are also looking up to the way I'm looking up to. These are people that I'm following. I'm literally stalking. I'm literally looking at every single thing that they do. And one thing that stands out in terms of who they are as people is how humble, genuine they are. Everything that they do is not for themselves, it's for the industry. Every one of these leaders that you're going to be listening into have a story to tell. So I encourage you at the end of this video clip, if you're not following them, you better follow them. You better research everything there is about them, because the work that they do is groundbreaking. I thank each and every one of these global icons who have inspired us as a company, who have inspired me. I am what I am today. We get to do the things that we do as a company because of the work that we see them doing. I would be nowhere close to having achieved anything remotely to what we have done had it not been for the work that I see them doing. And so I encourage everyone that if you're watching this video clip and you are frustrated, you lack inspiration, you're asking yourself where to next, check out every one of these video clips by these amazing leaders, because their story is going to inspire and ignite something in you beyond what you have ever imagined. I'm recording this from Locum Optometrist, the best optometry practice in the East Rand. My oh my, the level of ingenuity and I'm sitting in the diagnostic room, and the level of detail, or the attention to detail that they have when it comes to putting patients first, when it comes to ensuring that the eye examinations that they do are world class. It's out of this world. What Nanda and her team have built is truly amazing, and so I encourage everyone, check out Locum Optometrist, because they are truly doing phenomenal work. Happy World Optometry Day. Thank you for everyone that has been supporting our journey thus far. We have not even scratched the surface yet, but I'm super excited about what the future lies. Thank you to every one of these leaders that have come on board in doing these recordings. Without you guys, this would have not been possible. So thank you, love you all, happy World Optometry Day, and take very good care of yourselves.
Hey, Obi. Just finishing a long session with our beautiful patients. Obi's very kindly asked me if I could do a couple of minutes, maybe more, maybe less, on how I stayed at the top of my game in optometry for a long time. I don't believe I'm at the top of the game. I think all of us are constantly striving to learn. All of us are forever picking up information that will help us in our profession, but more importantly help our patients. And I think if I'm doing anything at all, it is still loving this profession, our patients, our fantastic colleagues across the world, and our wonderful technology in practice, from the very old to the very latest. And that's because love is in the air. Love is there for optometry. Love is there for our patients, like I say. Love is there for every one of you watching this video, because you are the network of optometry colleagues across the world. And trust me, networking is super important. Stay talking to your friends, stay talking to people you don't know and they become friends. Stay there at the forefront and thinking of optometry, whether it be drugs or techniques or refractions or contact lens options or instrumentation, whatever it is, be there, and boredom will never come in. So you will stay at the top of your game in relation to the world of optometry, being at the forefront of it and literally enjoying every minute. So keep the love going, keep the passion. The future is in your hands and you are the guys. I am wanting you to stay with it, and if you don't know me, come and get to know me because I love beer, so send me beers and I'd love to hear from you. So thank you very much. World Optometry Day rocks.
Everything I do for you, and I could never feel this.
Yes, mentorship has a key role in optometry. I really think it is difficult to succeed in any profession without some form of mentorship. I mean, the reality is no one makes it alone, and no one has made it alone. If you ask any successful individual about their journey, for sure, along the way, there was someone whose brain they picked, someone who cheered them on, and most importantly, someone who pushed them in the right direction and allowed them to see how great they can be, probably far beyond what that individual even could imagine. So yes, mentorship matters. It is important. And if we want our profession to continue to thrive and have future leaders that will impact the world, mentorship is essential.
Hi there, my name's Nick Rumney. I'm a great friend of Obi. Obi I met a few years ago in South Africa. One of the places that we're denied access to at the moment, and you're denied access to us. Obi's running a first-class consultancy service for optometry, and he is an inspiration to all of us. Those of us who are just starting out, or those of us who've been in business, in clinical practice for a long time. So Obi's asked me to speak a little bit about leadership. We've come through this pandemic just now, or at least we're on the home straight, we think. And I thought what I would do is just present 10 little tips, top tips, which I've used in kind of helping me, guide me through some of the most challenging times, not just in the COVID crisis, but in other areas as well. So I'll just run through those. So the first one, of course, is that you must never lose sight of the ultimate objective, okay? In terms of the start of the COVID, we condensed that to a single expression: return to full activity in the practice without losing anyone to redundancy, and certainly not without losing anyone to COVID. And we were extremely well served in the latter, and in fact we had returned to full business operations by October. Since then we've had another lockdown, but again we maintained that single expression: return to full activity. My second tip is that you need to set an example. You need to be showing visible, memorable symbols and behaviour. In classic terms, it's Dan Carter in the rugby room, in the changing room, sweeping the floor of all the discarded plasters and elastoplast after a match. Be the first to arrive, metaphorically, and be the last to leave. You need to maintain, number 3, you need to maintain your optimism. It's absolutely certain every day is a better day. Even if you've had a bad day, tomorrow is another day. Number 4 is the number 1 priority if you are the leader, actually, is to take care of yourself. You need to maintain your own stamina, and you need to lose the guilt of taking time out to look after yourself, whether that's exercise, whether that's reflective time, whether that's your own learning and education, whether that's pushing the boat. But at the end of the day, that time that you spend is important for the leadership of the business. Number 5 is you must reinforce the message that there are no silos. We live as one, we die as one. If the practice fails, we've all failed. We will come out of this together with everyone. Back to point 1, that's ultimate objective. Number 6 is that there is inevitable hierarchy, but you must reduce and eliminate status differences. You must minimize those and insist on courtesy and respect. People are there to do the job that they can do to the best of their ability, and you need to always respect that. If there are crosswords, people need to understand that they're said not in a personal basis. Number 7, because it does happen, you must master conflict. You need to deal with anger and you need to deal with flare-ups at the root, at the start. Sometimes not with an immediate reaction, but you need to draw attention to behaviours that are not appropriate for the rest of the team, and you need to certainly avoid power struggles. You don't really want to silo and get people acting in groups or cliques. In certain instances, you can use the old mantra of keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. So if you do have an individual who is struggling with the group concept and is struggling with the nature of the practice, then you need to be very close to them. You need to be talking to them on a regular basis. Number 8, we're getting to the point where you can always find something to celebrate and laugh about. Always be kind, be able to say please and thank you, but have a joke, have a laugh. I'm a bit of a tease. Sometimes that comes out well, sometimes it doesn't. I think people understand that my heart's in the right place. As soon as we can have a party, we'll have a party. It's important. Number 9, there will be occasions, there will be things that crop up and you think, do I need to do this? Can I get away without doing this? But no, what you sometimes need to do is you need to take that big risk. That big risk is important. It may be something that you would ordinarily perhaps not take, but at the end of the day, you have to consider what is the big picture. Go back to the ultimate objective. And finally, number 10, never give up. There's always another move on the chessboard. Tomorrow's a better day. And if you need to, you can either behave like the bishop and go in diagonals, or you can be as the knight and go 1 step forward and 2 steps to the side. There's lots of different ways that you can get around this. Never give up. There's always another move on the table. So as long as you can remember a number of these different things, that's my mantra for leadership. Obi's a real star in pushing this forward, and I hope you've enjoyed listening. Good luck to all of you, and we'll see you again very soon.
Thank you so much for the question, and it is a humbling one. I do not believe that I am a global icon in eye care. However, I do believe in the power of our wonderful community. It's really a small world where we can reach out to anyone and ask questions and better ourselves, really to help our patients. I also believe in the importance of leadership and mentorship. I've had some wonderful mentors over the years that have really helped me grow and helped me become who I am today. I also believe in the importance of mentoring others to become their best selves and to lift others up. Some lessons I've learned along the way are the importance of authenticity. So showing up as you are, really being your true self to help others. I also believe in the importance of continued learning. So that's one thing that is so valuable and fantastic about our profession, is that we have the opportunity to grow and learn all the time. There's new technology, there's new procedures, all of these things that can help our patients for the best. It's also helpful to have good values and be a good person, and we have the ability to do that. So once again, thank you so much for this opportunity, and I look forward to seeing all of you, hopefully in person sometime soon.
Hello, I'm Tom Arnold from Sugar Land, Texas, and thank you, Obi, for inviting me to participate in this forum. My topic is, what things would I do differently in my practice? And the first thing I would tell you is just have one location and do everything well. I had 3 at one time, thinking I would expand my patient base, but I think it just distracts you. I don't think you really have a better income, and you can't watch and manage the other remote offices appropriately. So my advice is to have one robust practice, concentrate on excellence, do the very best job you can for your patients and your colleagues, and expand your referral network, and just concentrate on that location. The second thing I would say to doctors, especially those starting out or with a new location, is have enough staff. The tendency may be that as you're starting out, you're not as busy. You say, I don't need all these extra people. But staff, have issues with attendance sometimes due to illness or family obligations. And also, you always want someone there to answer the phone, to have a good doctor's assistant, to have a good optician, to run the lab and sell eyeglass frames if you're doing that in your office. And you want to be able to delegate and hand off routine parts of the exam, and it looks more professional to have a good ancillary staff. So I would make sure that you put that in your budget and have enough people to service the patients appropriately and with a high degree of excellence. So those are my tips, and I wish everybody all the success in their career and their practice, and I hope to see you all very soon.
Shout out to OB. My name is Dr. Adam Ramsey. Shout out to everybody that's trying to support World Optometry Day. I own a private practice in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, called Socialite Vision. And I believe representation matters. I believe that doctors and patients and students all need to see people that look like them, that speak like them, that understand what they're going through. And that's why I've made it my personal mission to try and get involved as much things as I can, as much bandwidth as I have. I try to put a best face forward. I try to support the students, support companies, bridge that gap between the doctors and the companies that are trying to provide goods and services for the community. Representation matters, and I feel like we all have a voice. We all have a perspective that needs to be heard. And I believe that different faces need to be seen. Different people need to give back. Different people need to get involved. So get out there, support companies, support patients, support the community, do the right thing. I think if you have a right good heart and do the right thing for the community, everybody wins. But I do want to see more people get involved, more people give back, more people show their face, and more opportunities be given to people of color, more opportunities be given to people that want to participate in this profession, that want to give back, that want to get involved as key opinion leaders, that want to get involved in studies and want to get involved in advisory boards to make the profession better. Different people have different perspectives, and they all can be heard, and it'll grow the pot, it'll grow the pie, and it'll bring more people into the profession and make us a better optometry profession worldwide. So shout out to everybody in World Optometry Day. Thanks, OB, for getting me involved. And if you're on the sidelines, get involved, support, do better, get your face out there. And I want to see more people get involved in this great profession that I love. Thank you.
What is the driving force behind my success? Well, I don't consider my actions a success. Everything I do is fulfilling my calling and passion. This is my duty and job, of course, to educate and help people. And ultimately, that's the only reason why I do it. I am an optometrist. And I remember wanting this from the moment I started planning my grown-up life and career. I always wanted to influence people's thinking about the eye care and importance in everyone's life. People, my followers, my patients are the force, pushing me every day to do what I do. And it's every single person who at last once told me, I finally had an eye exam thanks to you, your blog, your social media. At last I can see better. And this is the best reward. The best reward and feeling I could imagine getting. Seeing that what I do actually helps people. Eye care conference, ebooks, our magazine, podcasts, my blog articles, or even providing help in the hospital right now. All of this is for people. And frankly, I love to create and deliver each of these things. And I will happily continue doing so, hopefully, for many years to come.
We can embrace the diversity in the eye care industry on a global aspect by appreciating and recognizing the uniqueness that each of us can bring to the table and enhancing the eye care field. So regardless of your gender, your ethnicity, or how you dress, we can all do something special for our patients. And let us concentrate on that instead of how different each and single one of us are.
On a global stage, we can be more unified as an industry if we are able to share standards of best practice across different countries. And personally, I think that the World Health Organization would have a vital role to play in this. They are positioned in exactly the way they need to be able to share what brilliant optometric services are like in countries such as the UK, the US, New Zealand, and Australia. And I personally think this would be of absolute great benefit to those countries that are still developing.
What's up, everyone? It's your favorite optometrist, Dr. Daryl Glover. Happy World Optometry Day. Obi Malope asked me the question, how was I able to build a trusted global brand? Man, it dates back to 2011 when I graduated from optometry school. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was lost in the sauce. I didn't know what I was going to do. I knew that I was going to be in the exam room, checking vision, asking what's better, 1 or 2, practicing full scope optometry. And I thought that was it for me. And as I sat down and I pondered and I wondered what else is there out there for me, I spoke to my mentor. And my mentor, Dr. Artis Beatty, who is still my mentor to this day, he gave me 3 books, or told me 3 books that I needed to pick up and read. And the one that really changed my life was one by Simon Sinek, Start With Why. And if you haven't read that book, make sure you read it because it can really help you grow as a person. And that book is what really opened up my eyes to, my vision, my purpose, my why. And as a result of that, it helped build this brand that you see today. You see, I was able to dig deep inside, I should say, and figure out my purpose. And once I was able to figure out my purpose, I made sure that I stuck to that purpose by developing core values that kept me in check. And ever since then, I just always aligned myself with people in my network that reflect that vision, that have the same core values. And the same thing when it comes to joining any organization. I work with my eye doctor, and my vision, my core values is almost a spitting image of what theirs is as well. And for those things that I wasn't able to find in organizations, I created on my own, like Black Eye Care Perspective and Defocus Media, Africa Media. So, how was I able to build a trusted brand? It really started with me understanding my purpose, my why, my reason of being here. And just finding organizations that reflect that and staying close and a network of people that believe the same thing. As a result of that, every day I just have fun and live my best life. And I've been able to build this global brand. And that's it in a nutshell, man. Happy Optometry Day. It's your favorite optometrist, Dr. Daryl Glover. Thank you for everything, Obi. You are truly a leader in this eye care industry. And if there's anything that you ever need, you let me know. Have a great one. It's your favorite optometrist, Dr. Daryl Glover. Peace.
Hello everyone, I'm Daddy Fadel from Italy. What I would like to suggest the future leaders in the eye care field is to work hard, but you have to work with ethics and integrity. You have to challenge yourself and not other people, and you have to work for your own satisfaction. Don't work for results. If you work in this way, results will come with time. So if you work for your own satisfaction, you will have your own results, your own satisfaction every time you are achieving something. So get out from your comfort zone and challenge your limits. And what I would like to suggest is to learn from the complications you are encountering with contact lenses. The complications are your true mentors, your true teachers in the contact lens field. You have to write them and learn from your errors, from the complications you are encountering with specialty or contact lenses. And for every woman out there in all over the world, I would like to suggest you to remain feminine, be ambitious, be a leader, and be an inspiration for everyone. You can make it, work hard, and we will make it all together. Good luck.
First of all, Obi, thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this video. I really appreciate it. It looks like you got an amazing list of people on this video, and I'm humbled to be part of it, so thank you so much. So my name is Harbir Sayan. I'm an optometrist in the Vancouver, Canada area, and I am co-owner in 2 different practices, 2 different types of practices, different modalities. And the question I want to answer is, what makes an ideal optometric practice? Because I've been fortunate to practice in different settings and be a co-owner in 2 different types of modalities, I've had the good fortune of being able to kind of learn and understand what makes these different types of practices run. And I think the best way to answer this question is, what makes an ideal practice is whatever feels ideal to the owner or the kind of the lead optometrist to make it the type of practice they want it to be, because then they can kind of practice in their most authentic way. I think that's the most important thing. If somebody's practicing within a setting that's uncomfortable to them or doesn't really align with their values and principles, then I feel that that practice just won't grow and won't serve their patients as well as it should or could. So what makes an ideal practice is setting up the practice to really express your kind of best self as the optometrist. So here, in North America, we're very fortunate to be able to practice in various ways, different modalities, different specialties. It's actually kind of a blessing, to be honest. So we can pick and choose the way we want to practice to create the ideal practice, a practice that's ideal to us. So personally, I like to do my kind of family eye care, but on top of that, have a couple of subspecialties of dry eye or myopia management and other things like that. And other practitioners may choose to just pick one of those and focus on just one of those, and that would be their ideal practice. But as long as they're living their true self-practicing in their most authentic way, they will be able to serve their patients the best way possible. So what makes an ideal practice? It's the one that feels the most ideal to the doctor and the one that serves the patient the best.